So you are thinking about moving abroad to improve your English, whether it be the United States, Canada, maybe England, maybe somewhere else. Wait, because I have some things I'd like to share with you. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you 3 lies or false beliefs about having to move abroad to improve your English. Then I'll be giving you some tips on how to maximize your experience if you decide you still want to move abroad or to another country to improve your English. And lastly, I'm going to share with you how to improve your English without traveling. So let's get started. The first myth is, if I move to a place that speaks English, I will just be speaking English. This may not be the case. I know that when we move abroad, sometimes we have the tendency to find other people from our own country speak our native language. We might also be tempted to call our friends and family back home and speak in our native language. Or in the evenings or during the day, we may decide to, well, listen to music in our native language or watch movies or Netflix in our native language, which may not sound like a big deal, but I know so many people who have moved abroad to a different province. So in Canada, people moving to Quebec to learn French. I know people who've moved to other countries in order to learn another language, and they may even spend multiple years there and barely make any progress in their target language or the language that they're trying to learn. So it may seem harmless to spend, time here and there in our native language. It's really important to be intentional and to make friends that speak the language that we want to improve. So that would be English in your guys' case. We're very mindful of the time that we are not spending in our target language. It's not bad to talk to people back home, but it all adds up because I've seen far too many people move abroad to learn a language, and at the end of the year, they are really discouraged that they didn't make any progress. What you do in your free time counts. So make sure you immerse yourself in English. Which leads me to my second point, or the second myth, and that is, if I move to a country that speaks English, it's just gonna magically happen that I will speak English in a year or in 6 months. Again, it's really important to be intentional. If you watch movies, make sure it's in English. If you listen to music, make sure it's in English. If you make friends, try to make friends that only speak English with you. If you need to take courses, take courses. If you're working, try to work at a job where you just speak in English, and ideally that your coworkers only speak English. Because although it is really uncomfortable to not be able to properly communicate, this is really gonna push you out of your comfort zone and force you to find ways to express yourself in English, even though in the beginning you'll probably make a lot of embarrassing mistakes. And that's okay. It's a part of the language learning journey. The third myth I hear a lot is that you need to travel to another country that speaks English in order to speak English or in order to attain a certain level in English. For me, I think this is completely false. Like I mentioned, I've seen people who have traveled abroad to speak a language, spent sometimes even 3, 4, 5 years in the place that speaks their target language, and they barely have made any progress. And I've also seen people who have never traveled to the country that they're trying to learn the language of, and they speak better than most people who have even been immersed and successfully immersed themselves in the language. So whether you stay in your own country or move to a country that speaks your target language, being most likely English, try to immerse yourself as much as possible in the target language. And this also means to change your cell phone, your computer, everything you have, all your electronic devices into English, because it will create that immersion experience. But what if you don't want to travel or you cannot travel to a country that speaks English? How can you immerse yourself? Well, some of the ways would be to surround yourself with English speakers if you could find them. Try to make friends that speak English. These might be real life friends, like in-person friends, but it also might be virtual friends. There are different kind of apps where you can find other language learners or English speakers that want to learn your language, such as HelloTalk. Even when you're at home, watch shows in English, read books in English, listen to music in English, change your electronic devices like your cell phone and laptop in English. You can be really effective in immersing yourself in English, even though you don't live in an English-speaking country. But hey, if you want to hear a little bit more in depth of how to learn a language, how to work on your mindset, what an action plan would look like, and so on, click right here. I have a longer video that goes more in depth. Or if you want to learn more about finding a language English partner, feel free to click this video right here. Anyways, take care and see you in another video. Bye!